Hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone is having a great day. I am. I am having a great day. Just enjoying the nice weather that we're having. Good morning, everybody. Well, it's afternoon. It just depends on where you live. Depends on where you live. Okay, I see that. Okay, the microphone is working. I want everybody to know that it only been 60 years since the Bloody Sunday in Alabama. That is when Negroes were hosed down, bully club, beaten for the right to vote. So, I'm not here to persuade anybody. I'm just here to tell you the reason why I will always vote. Okay? Now, it's up to you. I'm not going to tell anybody to do, but my ancestors got their butts beat. Okay? They were hosed down. And so, this is the first video that I'm going to share. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you so much.
Voting rights marches there.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up.
Thousands turned out today to symbolically cross the bridge where law enforcement attacked peaceful demonstrators in what became known as Bloody Sunday. The violence shocked the nation and helped create support for the 1965 Voting Rights Act. NPR's Debbie Elliott joins us now from Selma. Hey, Debbie.
Hey there.
What was the scene there today?
It's what they call the Bridge Crossing Jubilee, and the streets are packed. There are vendors, food stands. It's like a festival atmosphere. There's a gospel concert underway right now. Things kicked off with a rally at historic Brown Chapel AME Church. That was the site of mass meetings back in the 60s. It was led by Jeremy Pons of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
Y'all ready to march? Yeah. Are y'all ready to march? Yeah. It's a shame that we still have to march 60 years later. But
People left that church, marched to Selma's iconic Edmund Pettus Bridge. Remember, that's where state troopers and sheriff deputies attacked civil rights activists when they tried to march from Selma to Montgomery back in 1965.
Right. And since then, this anniversary has been marked in different ways, different years. How was it reenacted today?
Well, I think one thing that you notice right off is, instead of being beat up by law officers, the crowd has police protection when they cross the bridge. And it's special because the foot soldiers who led that march 60 years ago are getting a lot of hero love, and they're on the front lines of this reenactment. The man who led Selma's voter registration project, Bernard Lafayette, for instance, was there crossing in a wheelchair. Eugene Daniels was there. He was just 17 years old when he was involved in the Selma movement. He said he'd been arrested a few times, but nothing to compare to what happened on March 7th.
On that bloody Sunday, it never could expect what was going to happen. That was going to get ran down by Alabama State Police and then get beat by Billy Club with the sheriff riding on horses and tear gas. And it didn't matter what age you were, old, young, everybody. When they call it Bloody Sunday, you can put an emphasis on that when they say Bloody Sunday.
Yeah, and another man who was standing with him showed me the scar on his head where he was bludgeoned on Edmund Pettus Bridge. Sanders says he thinks it's time to regroup to protect the gains that these people fought for back then. He says the fight's not over.
Why do people keep returning to the Edmund Pettus Bridge all these years later?
Many of the people I spoke with call it a touch point, this idea of connecting with a key piece of American history and uniting with others. One person likened it to holy ground. I've been to a lot of these over the years. I do pick up a sense of urgency this time with the changes the Trump administration is making to the government, things like eliminating diversity programs. Here's Sheila Bonds, who made the pilgrimage to Selma with the Indianapolis Coalition of 100 Black Women.
This change is not gonna take us away from our goals to progress, to make sure our people are being lifted up, and that we also have a piece of the American dream.
Bonds and others say they fear a rollback of gains that were achieved by voting rights activists here back in 1965.
That is NPR correspondent Debbie Elliott. Debbie, always good to talk to you.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay, everybody. Hey, hold on. Just okay. Hold on. How you doing, Jessica T? Hey, E is Godson. Hey, Joshua. So, I just want people to know, like last week was the 60th year anniversary. And it was not that long ago, 60 years, where people were hosed down. Okay? I want y'all to see these pictures. I want y'all to see these pictures. This is why I will always vote. I will always vote. Just when you go to vote, does not mean you're just voting for the president or the vice president. You're voting for sales tax. You're voting for your taxes to be increased. You vote on, do they want to put a liquor store in your neighborhood? You vote on, do they want to sell bonds, school bonds? It's so much. Voting on increasing taxes to get new sidewalks. I mean, this is just a reminder. And this wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. They were hosed down. This happened in 1965. This was 60 years ago. 60 years ago. This is why I will always vote. I will always vote because my ancestors got out there. They got beat down. And who you vote for is your right. Don't let anybody try to dumb you down because of your opinion or your views or how you feel about any political candidate. I will tell people they're all crooks. And people are getting tired of voting. People are tired of voting for the lesser evil. But it's the way it is. So when things happen in your neighborhood and you see certain communities are being built up and yours isn't, a lot of people don't vote. They don't vote. You have to get out. You have to put some people in office that's going to tell you everything what is going on. Oh my goodness, hold on. Wow. That's a reminder. This is a reminder of what our ancestors did. Voting is important no matter what you feel about it or what you think about it. It's very important. It's very important. And so this is what they did this past week.
Here gathered, it is windy, it is cold, it has been raining at times, but you still saw in those images hundreds here.
News as hundreds of people have been marching across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama to mark the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. Let's go now to NBC's George Lees, who's there for us. George, what are you hearing from some of today's participants? How meaningful is it for them?
Hey, Alex, it's been such a powerful and moving display. So many here gathered. It is windy, it is cold, it has been raining at times, but you still saw in those images hundreds here making that commemorative march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge. 60 years since Bloody Sunday. Now, that was Friday, but still on this Sunday, you had all those people here gathered. You have a rally that's ongoing right now, and you had events throughout this weekend trying to echo those messages for equality, for freedom, for justice. So many of those same messages and the tone and tenor still holds so much truth today. I spoke with Senator Angela also Brooks from Maryland, who made her first march on Friday here with so many others, and just talked about how poignant and how powerful that moment was for her to be here where Dr. King was, where John Lewis was, and to make sure that that torch is carried forward among this new generation, that those fights and those dialogues continue moving forward. And I have to tell you, just talking to some of the people that were here ahead of the march, I spoke with one gentleman who's in his 80s right now. He remembers being 7 years old when he was running from dogs that were released here by individuals that obviously did not want people to have civil rights and not want them to have voting rights. But I did also speak with so many people that were leading and in charge of the marches here today. I want you to take a listen to what they told me about the impact of this 60 years later.
I'm really hoping that 60 years from now, our children and grandchildren are not doing the same thing. My hope is that 60 years from now, we can maybe rest a little bit. We can't rest now, right? So my hope is that we continue the work, that we move the clock forward, that we make sure that every voice is heard, that we make sure that we remind everyone that your voice matters. No matter where you are in this country, your voice matters.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And again, that's just some of the message that holds so much truth today. They want to keep pushing, and they want to make sure that what was fought here is not lost. And again, as you can see behind me here, so many still on the Edmund Pettus Bridge remembering what happened here 60 years.
Again, I'm not telling people what to do, how to vote, who they should vote for, but I just want people to know that I feel as though, you know, due to what my ancestors did for me, I feel as though it's my duty to get out there and vote. Again, never forget. Never forget what your people went through. Never forget. Never forget what your people went through. Never forget what your people went through. Never forget. Never forget. People were hosed down. Okay, people were hosed down for your right to vote. Shame on you that don't get out and vote. People died for you to have this right. Your vote means so much. I mean, I can't emphasize it enough. Hey, Charlene, a lot of people say, well, my vote, there's a lot of things on the ballots that you can vote for. Again, if you don't want any more liquor stores in your community, if you want new sidewalks, and this, Lord have mercy, this wasn't even, it wasn't old. This was only 60 years ago. 60 years. $60 years. 60 years, and you got people saying, I'm not gonna vote. That's why we are left behind, you know. And you know, don't get discouraged. I'm here to tell you, don't get discouraged. We have put some people in office that we thought was for us, was going to make things right for us. They were going to make sure we got that 40 acres and a mule, you know, that field order 150. Thank you, Charlene. That field order 150. See, this is why I try to tell people, let me tell you something. We've been sitting here voting for a party that never made sure that field order 150 was followed. So, you know, there's nothing too much people can say to me. I will not be moved by people telling me who I should vote for. But look at what you voted for. And we got nothing. Why your Democratic leaders, while field order 150 was never put into action. Instead, these are things that should have been worked on for so many years ago. So many years ago. Never forget. Never forget. And so, when I look at the buffoonery of all of these people that didn't ask for anything, and they're living so good, they're so wealthy, they're so wealthy. These people are rich, because they had their own selfish needs. They didn't hold anybody accountable for field Order 150. If you guys want to join me tonight, I'll be at Mouthpiece Show. Mouthpiece, drop your link. I will be in his chat. I am so glad that I have found some young people. We have young and old. And they listen. They respect what what we're saying, what we're talking about. Because it's my duty. It's my duty to tell you what I see. All I'm seeing is history repeating itself. I'm seeing now how the music industry had devils. Okay? Everybody needs to know everybody ain't a child of God. Lucifer, Satan the devil. He's got kids and grandkids, great grandkids out here. Okay? I have no sympathy for any of these people that have taken my people's dreams and hopes, destroyed them. You went along, you were the gatekeepers. And wake up, everybody. Wake up. Wake up. Because let me tell you, it's a new regime of people. And they see everything for what it is. And if you can't see now, if you can't see how we were used for our vote, how they gave us a little crumbs, made a few little programs that they have been using for years. See, about time we found out about Section 8, food stamps, they were already on it. Okay. But they hounded us. We couldn't have a man in the house. You had to lie about your income, but the goal was to keep the man out the house. Think employment. You pay unemployment. They fired you, and then they denied you your unemployment. Like, we're not giving you nothing. And you're out there without a job. You're being right there, knowing that it was a shame. But you didn't get unemployment. You had to appeal. They were firing people left and right. Left and right. They were firing people. People didn't have a chance. So I'm here to tell you my experiences, what I've been seeing people experience. They knew when they hired you, they wasn't going to let everybody make it. It was somebody. A few, they let a few, but not all. Right now, I ain't getting on board for no economic, all of this uh, boycotting and stuff. I need you to tell me why once they hired DEI people, did they promote them? Did they send them back to school? You know, because the only thing they did was hire you to reach a quota. Never forget, vote, vote. The state of the United Snakes of America right now is really sad. And yes, all people trust and believe. All people, we're gonna have to come together. All of us. All of us. Because there's more middle class and poor people than there is rich people. See, we're gonna have to stand up and fight these corporations, these big people. And then we've got to learn to say, I'm not playing your game. I'm not playing your dirty game. I'm not playing it. And we gotta stop listening to the media. Okay. You see everything for what it is. You see these slithering snakes. You see them in your regular life. You see them in your family. You see them in your community. We can't give these snakes the venom to bite us. Keep them snakes where they at. Because they send people like they've been doing with the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers. Now, let me tell you something. We all got a past. I have one. And I've tried to, right my wrongs. And some things I didn't even know better. I didn't even know about. See, people don't know my story. But I still kept my head held high. I don't need nobody being a spokesperson for me living in the United States of America. And they do not know what the experience of really being a black person, being judged, talking about you, maybe because of where you live, the way you talk. You know, a lot of us had parents that come from Mississippi. We said ma, you know, we said ask. We know it should be asked. They talked about us behind our backs. But the only way is that we're going to ever win is everybody's going to have to unite. And like I said, it's more poor people and rich people. I mean, there's more poor and middle class people than rich people. And if we all stuck together, maybe we could bring them down. We could make our demands. Our demands. because all people of all races, color, and creed, when it boils down to it, it's really about the almighty dollar. Okay? It's all about the almighty dollar. These new kids coming up, you know, they're not looking at me as a black woman. They're looking at me just as a woman with some knowledge. They're going to appreciate what I'm telling them. Again, there is more middle class and poor people than there is rich people. And we got to start learning to not sell out everybody. We got to find the right people to support, back them, and we have to hold them accountable. Now, I know I tell people I will always vote, and I know a lot of people, we've looked at some of these mayors that have led these cities, and they have stolen from our people. But that does not mean that everybody is a thief and a criminal. It's unfortunate that, it seems like evil is winning, but evil is being exposed. And trust and believe. Some of these people, my black American mayors and stuff, and this is my opinion, there's no way that millions and millions of dollars would just come up missing and somebody wasn't guiding them. We gotta find people that got some morals and principles. We gotta find people that say, you know what, baby, I've been walking. I would love a new car. But if I got to do some dirty work to get this new car, I don't want it. Baby, I've been living in this house. And it's fine. I don't need a bigger house. And then we can't fall for the okie dokie. See, they know how to pick their gatekeepers, people to do their work. How long you been working here? Girl, I've been here for 5 years. They don't pay me that much. I'm only making $25,000, $30,000 a year. You look up the next day you come in, they done gave you a $60,000 salary. Trust and believe while you're admiring them and thinking that they're saying that you're a good worker and you deserve it. No, they have their own agenda. Beware. Beware. So this is April Showers. I will never forget, and this was only 60 years ago. The United States of America, once you realize this country was built on a lie, and how, they controlled us with the media, certain shows, through the music, through our people, through money. They created the division. I love all people, regardless of their race, color, creed, religious, or political backgrounds. I know I'm not going to understand somebody else's journey, but I'm going to respect them. And so I will always vote. I will never forget Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama. Those people, they united so I could have the right to go vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, for councilman, councilwoman. I can go look on the ballot and say, no, don't raise the taxes here, the sales tax to build new sidewalks. No, I don't want to buy a barn for them to build a new school, fix the old one. You know, there's more things on the ballots. And so I will never forget. I will never forget what my ancestors did for me. This is April Showers, and I hope you enjoyed this show. Like I said, this is the reason why I would vote. One thing people have to realize is a lot of people were put in place to keep us divided. And once you realize that, just even with our thinking, a lot of people was put in place to keep the division going, to keep the racism going, division among all the races, division among our race. And when you realize that, and realize that they have their gatekeepers that still trying to promote hate, telling us don't fool with your family because they voted for a candidate. That's deep. That's hate. That's not respectful. This is April Showers. I thank you all. Mouthpiece, did you drop your link? Y'all need to come on over. These are some wonderful young and us older people. You know, I give them my opinion on how I see things, you know, and they give me their opinion, and we respect each other. It took a long time, but I finally found some young people that get me, other than my son and my younger relatives. So I'm going to keep preaching. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oops, hold on. Hold on. I thought you had one. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I had somebody at one time trying to sabotage. Hold on. I got to give wrenches back to people. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. If people don't come in my shows, because I had to take all, of the wrenches away because they had blocked some people. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, now. Yeah. Twisted tea. She should have one. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. Um, you know, Amber Angel's Truth will come to my channel, and Amber's Angel Truth is always welcome over here. She is a Caucasian woman, and you know, the only way, everybody's hollering, we gotta unite. Like I said, the middle class and the poor people come in all race, shape, form, sizes, colors, religious, political views. You know, an economic buyout for one day ain't doing nothing. It's not doing a doggone thing. Montgomery boycott, lasted bus boycott, lasted for a year, okay? It lasted for a year. Now, I need y'all to come over tonight to Mouthpiece Show. And, everybody that's in here, I need y'all to subscribe to each other. We are all content creators. Content creators. So if you're a content creator, I don't care about your race, your color, your creed, your religious or political background. You're creating content. Like, I can go to some of these people's shows and I can see them cruising. I can see them crocheting. I done got a lot of tips. Some of these ladies throwing down in the kitchen just because I'm one color don't mean that. Hell, I'm not a throw down in the kitchen. Okay? You got people teaching you how to budget your money. You got people taking you all over the world. Old cemeteries, abandoned buildings. You got people showing you parades, because they're trying to put that fear in you. Baby, I will go anywhere I want to when I want to go. But unfortunately, it's a new generation. I do have to be a little bit mindful now, But I'm not to the point where every time I go somewhere, I'm going to worry about if something going to happen to me. No. No. And when you think about it, let me tell you something. Most of us are more alike than we are different. Hey, Frank Meadows, we are more alike than we are different. All we want is a decent chance in life. We know the way to, like I said, this country was built on the lie. We had people that never really fought for us to get our reparations because that was a law. And they rescinded on that. They rescinded on that. And we set up and we voted and we voted. And I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for. I'm calling it the way I see it. I need to know why most of these people got 10, 20, 30 million dollars. And we the people don't have nothing. I need to know why I have ghetto people representing us. So I'm getting ready to end this show. I thank y'all all because I made 2 attempts at this show, but see, I'm not a quitter. I just got a new laptop and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. And I made some calls and, the sound wasn't coming in and all of this. I'm trying to stay up current with everything. So come join me tonight at Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece, what are we going to be talking about tonight? Are we going to be talking about Angie Stone? Because I'm going to tell y'all, seeing these artists die that I grew up with, I say, or I was rallying, buying their music, thinking, oh my gosh, I wanted them to make it. Wow, man, that girl is deep. She said, brother, she loved her brother, whether he's a Wall Street brother, no more. And to think that it was our people that destroyed this lady. Our people. They talked about her weight. They talked about the way she looked. Man, that's awful. Awful. See how society. Okay. So join us tonight because I got a lot to talk about with this Angie Stone. See, we let people make us think because you're dark skinned, you got beautiful lips, And to hear a woman say, I know y'all think I'm ugly. I know y'all think I'm ugly. That's awful. That's awful. Then, she helped the little D'Angelo. Now, a lot of people might say he was 19. She helped the man. He was fighting his demons. She was an old country woman. She put that southern cooking on him. The industry sent people in to destroy the relationship. Like, you can't be seen with this big black woman. And do y'all know that D'Angelo was overweight? But anyway, y'all just come on over to Mouthpiece Show. I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to tell y'all my opinion tonight on Mouthpiece Show. This is April Showers. I will never forget. I'll never forget the people that lost their life, that was beat, that was hosed down, that was Billy Club. People that was stalked, harassed. And we're going to talk about Angie Stone. I hadn't been on in 4 days because I got a little overwhelmed. See, when I get overwhelmed, I can take breaks. You know, sometimes I might do three shows. But as I'm looking at this world revolve around me, and some people can't even see it. How they put us against each other, our own people. Angie Stone was a beautiful. She was skinny, but she was a beautiful black woman. She dressed nice. She didn't have a thong and have her hand hanging all night. Oh, Lord, forgive me. Y'all, come on over to Mouthpiece Show tonight. Never forget, to you young people, never forget with your ancestors. This was only 60 years ago. This is why you should always cast your vote. This is April Showers. I'm out.